not sure if we're gonna do player interviews.
There you go.
Oh, there's no pause.
All right. Well, that has been Middle Ground World War. Thank you to everybody who came out and played together. There was a lot of upsets. Definitely caused me to get a lower placing than I had hoped for. But won doubles.
That's pretty good.
You know, even with switching up teams, we had a kind of a mirror situation from what we had yesterday, where my team, the team I was on, lost early and then brought it back through losers. Taisa and Shiny getting third again, and then Pyreeze and I winning today, and then Taisa and I winning yesterday. Yeah. So very interesting to see kind of how the consistency of people doing in doubles. So it's the top three teams.
You in a hurry, or are you down for some interviews?
For some interviews? Yeah, I can do it for some interviews with people.
Let's do Vincent. The chat has been recent for the last 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this one came through just like 5 minutes ago. But there is 7 viewers watching right now.
I don't know if there's a.
It shows the viewers right here.
Oh, okay.
I don't see a camera anywhere over here.
Ask Taz if there's a.
We could just move that camera over here.
Oh, yeah. All right. So he's telling me this is his first interview ever.
Who, Pyreeze is?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I was like, oh my god, these dudes are so annoying.
Where's the camera?
Oh. Me is killing me. Oh.
Fucking needles, dude.
Both the games you lost from trying to go from a Hail Mary upbeat down to forward smash.
Yeah.
It would have killed.
It would have, but Sheik's got too good frame data, dude.
Here, we'll do it like this.
With this.
All right.
Alright, guys, let's start packing up.
Thanks.
Alright. As much as I'd love to stay,
Oh,
we
it's kind of.
have 20 more minutes. So if you guys
What's poppin'?
All right, so this Dr. Robotnik here, joined with Pyreeze.
Yep.
A phenomenal second place. I've got a couple questions in mind, but I first want to hear what your thought was going into the finals there. You opted for the Smashville type setting with Town and City for your counter picks. What was the reason for that? Just kind of
The reason I led with Smashville the one time is because it obviously worked the first time, right? Or the only time that it really went there, right? And then I went to Town City because I never really found myself in a situation where she was killing me off the top, right? And obviously my up B kills way earlier than that. And not to mention, like you saw in the Dreamland game, I just get a straight up air and that could lead to death at 0.
So, with that being said, though, why didn't you opt for counterpicking the tri-platform setting, considering it in the first set it benefited you so well? I mean, you won on his counterpicks on those stages.
The reason being is because I figured that I got lucky with that straight up air, so I didn't really want to chance it again.
I see. The other thing was he took you to FD as a counterpick. What did you ban?
I ended up banning Lilat.
You still banning Lilat in that
I blatantly
situation?
can't do Lilat, especially against somebody who has no landing leg. There's no way. Because it forces me to play a grounding game, and Samus can't do that.
You don't think the slope would help you deal with needles, or maybe get better dash attack setups, sweeping underneath him?
He would just shield camp, and especially under the tilt, grab would just whiff over his head.
Okay.
That's a very viable threat that I've worried about.
Okay. Well, let's talk about doubles a little bit. You and I obviously team today. Something that I was mentioning during your set, that is one of your strongest traits, is you're able to flip your mindset about a situation, even in the middle of a match. You take situations very upfront, and I think that's really interesting as a player, because you, as a character, you're limited playing a lower tier. until we see nationals. But you do this great job of going between being aggressive and being defensive, where even the best Samus I've seen now are really just kind of sticking to one type of play style, regardless of how they did and performed. So I think that's interesting. Is there a reason that you can go both aggressive and defensive, and you obviously opt for offense.
Yeah.
So just kind of share some light on the way you play neutral and the.
Point blank, like, I love to play aggressively. That's just my natural go-to. I love to combo people down air on shield, get safe shield pressure, and all that kind of fun stuff, right? When I recognize the situation where it's like, maybe I shouldn't recklessly go in, and that's something that I learned recently, actually, relatively recently, is I need to be able to pull out, too. And kind of make that like a more comfortable playstyle for me, because I like to relate it to what somebody said about melee Samus. Actually, is that they're a very defensive character by nature, right? But on the instant they just flip the switch and suddenly you're balls to the wall, is doing everything you can to take that stock.
Yeah, the pressure is really crazy. I mean, we fought obviously in singles on winner's side, and that's what you did to me. Is that you pressured me to the point where you figured out right when I was going to throw those eggs, so I couldn't even get a chance to air dodge.
Yeah.
But you'd play super defensive up until that point until you were sure, which is crazy. That inhuman reaction. Something I noticed though, when you went to losers, you started doing jab 2 a lot.
Yeah.
You did it a lot versus Desi, and you did a lot versus Taisa. None of them connected. Is there a reason you were doing that? Were you trying to cover them, trying to maybe fall on you after getting hit by jab 1?
Because if they got hit by the jab 2, it actually leads to a charge shot tick chase at
Does
those
it?
percents. Yep. And against those kinds of players, I have to take any percent I can get.
So you're just kind of counting on like, well, maybe if my jab 1 doesn't work,
Yeah.
and they try to punish out of that, you've got jab 2 as a setup. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any final thoughts on how you did today? Who do you think had the best upsets today or the greatest plays?
One of the best upsets was from one of my players, actually, Snickerdorf beating Desi. That came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, I hear he killed him at like 17% with an up
Did he
B.
really? I didn't hear that.
He chased him off the stage and then just caught him with a raw up B and killed him at 17%.
Wow.
So that was it. One of your crew members, Pandarian, fought CG.
Yep.
Very, very close.
It was
best of
very
five
close,
set. Any thoughts on CG's Falcon?
His Falcon is definitely something else. He's just pretty inactive from what I hear, right? He's like, has the movement and like general Falcon stuff down, right? And as soon as he harnesses like what is optimal punishes and safety, like I saw him mess up a few things, right? And he just has like those reads, dude, those Falcon reads, like just charging F smash.
He's so patient, and he just like fears you into this point where it's just like, I don't know what to do, and
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, well, now you're dead. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I really wanted to ask you. I mean, you beat Desi. What's your kind of win-loss against him?
Literally every single time I come over East Side, or every time we play, we trade sets.
Trade sets.
So he
you
wins
do with
one-
Taisa too, and from what I understand, he's been on a positive record with you
He has
up
been.
until now. I think now you guys are even, because he beat you at Apartment Wars 2 days ago,
Right.
And then now you just got. Oh, actually, maybe he's one up on you.
Yeah, he might be, yeah. And that's just me trying to figure out what works against what. And obviously I was able to take a set, so I'm doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, you almost reverse 3-0'd him a second time. Yeah. We were believing. Like, you'll hear if you watch the VOD later. Like, there was so many times where you were down a stock, up high percent, and you didn't get any shine sparks, but you still brought it back, and you just maintained your neutral. It was really amazing to play. So
Spoiler alert, you can't shine spark Sheik.
you can't.
Nope, she falls too fast.
Interesting. I did not know that. We definitely thought you were going for it. We made a couple of calls on it. One final question. As one of the top players from Western Washington, who do you think holds the top like 3 or 4 spots? Do you think it's mostly Western Washington, or do you think Taisa and Desi might compete up there for the second?
To be completely honest, I couldn't tell you.
You think it's even then?
Yeah, because obviously our top guys are good at the way they are, but like, who knows? In all honesty, the way Taisa plays is a lot superior to one of the Sheiks that we have over there. He has a very calculated style, whereas the other one is more aggressive, and that doesn't exactly favor a lot of things. And then in regards to Desi, he's really good. I expect him to do really well when he moves west side.
I think as a whole, the top 15 look to Western Washington is definitely better than Eastern Washington's top 15.
But-
Just goes with the nature of how many players, as well as the experience you guys have with BC coming down. I think
Right.
that benefits you guys a lot with your matchup spread. But I think kind of the top 4, top 5 are definitely up there with your guys' top 10. If I had to root for a top 10, I would say Western at 6 and Eastern Washington at 4.
I can get behind that. Yeah, Y'all ain't free one anymore. Like,
It's interesting because Eastern Washington's been behind for so long. But with you guys coming over so often, it's given us the exposure that we wanted to actually improve. So I want to thank you as a person that you guys have been so supportive and kind of changing Western Washington's feelings about wanting to travel over here. We're definitely going to be sending more people over to you guys.
Yeah.
So any announcements of big tournaments coming up?
not as it stands right now, no. There are a few, actually in July, there's going to be 2 Smash Nests down in Oregon, from what I understand. Aside from that, I don't know of anything else, but those ones should be big.
Okay. So maybe we'll make an effort to come down to those. It's going to be tight because with Evo and everything.
Right, I understand.
But, all right. Well, Pyreeze, it's been a pleasure. You guys have a safe drive back. Maybe we'll have an after party, go to eat something if you guys are up for it.
So thank you for those kind words. Thanks Amity Esports Club for sponsoring me, for actually being able to make this a feasible trip every time. Yeah.
Final shout outs, final words.
Yeah.
Cameras right there.
Amity Esports Club, absolutely. That's the AEC that I wear in front of my name. I rock it out all the time. Very, very good stuff. It really shows myself that I can do all those kinds of things, and they're helping me. They're helping me achieve greatness, and thanks to that.
That's awesome.
Thanks to you guys, absolutely, for making this fun. It's
been a blast having you guys. You guys are a great group of people. Most of Western Washington is.
Yeah.
I think there's bad eggs in all groups.
Yeah.
Some people get a little more heated than I think
Right, I
some are
understand.
willing to accept. But we love having you guys, and we'll see you back next time.
Of course, I'll be here next time.
Awesome, Pyreeze. Thank you.
Later.
All right, next up we're going to have the winner for Wii U singles. We're going to have Taisa coming over here for an interview. Could I get Taisa over to the interview?
Hit that L, boy! Hit that L!
Taisa.
I hit Snickle Darts!
Oh my god.
It's gone!
I'm trying to get one.
There we go. No!
All right, so joining me on the mic. I know it's late, so we'll try to make this as brief as possible.
Maybe.
But Taisa, the winner, again, you won IE Smash yesterday. A little more difficult, I would say, today. Pyreeze definitely gave you a run for your money, but boy, your neutral game today was absolutely incredible.
I tried.
What was your thought process around staying Sheik the whole time? I didn't see you pick really any secondaries at all today.
So I constantly was thinking about switching, but I was like, I just have to win. I felt like I had no choice. If I went any other character, he might have something up his sleeve, and I just kind of wanted to progress the game going further each time of the way.
Camera's there, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
well,
you're good.
I'm talking to you though, so
Yeah, I understand.
So the first set, it was hard because he played an entirely different play style than what he was used to, what he used to do, and it was it was a lot more patient, but I don't feel like describing it as patient was for me to win. Just saying, oh, he's playing patient, just don't let him be allowed to play patient. I had to figure out another way to think what exactly he was doing. And I didn't even figure that out really until after I beat him winners finals. So he was being patient, but what really he was doing is he was finding ways to bait me, and he was finding ways to punish. And anytime I made a mistake, he focused on how can I optimize this punish? What's my reaction?
Yeah, there was several times where you basically took 20% and brought him up to 100, and then you made one mistake in neutral, and then you just kind of ran away with it again.
Yes.
That very last game, it almost happened again, but you were happened to lock him down and chase him all the way to the other side and regain neutral.
That was for sure.
Something I think that was really incredible is winning on his counter picks on the big wide stage that was Town City. I think a Sheik is really difficult against a heavy floaty.
He was, definitely.
So, any advice for people who will want to play Sheik to that level?
To play Sheik?
What should they be working on practicing? Because I know a lot of that is mental game. Like really understanding the way your opponent wants to move around.
That is true. So I could go down through a list of many mistakes I've made with Sheik. But first I'll just say, as a Sheik player, you kind of want to... I'd say if you want to pick up Sheik, you would first start off with a fundamental based character and then go to Sheik.
So like a Mario, Diddy Kong, maybe?
Yeah, like Mario, Diddy Kong, Ness even, because Ness is, like, even though it may seem it's kind of gimmicky, he has, like, really strong, like, one button, like, hitting moves. So it's like, you know, which button can I press best at this right time? And Mario's, you know, Mario. And then you can switch to Sheik, but every time you lose, really focus on, like, one specific thing that messed up. Most people think, and I want to say I don't think you should listen to a lot of Sheik players or like other Sheiks that tell you what to do with Sheik, because they don't really play the same people you play, so their like advice might be completely wrong.
You see, just between like the two best Samuses, obviously, I don't think anybody's going to argue that Pyreeze isn't the second best, or maybe even the best. We don't know until we see national results. But they're so fundamentally different. Desi and Dath, clearly very, very good Robin players, completely different. And I think with Sheik having so many tools, it even takes that beyond that. So, would you have any advice on how to make your own play style with somebody who has so many tools?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, Sheik is very flexible, but you have to. I feel like it's really playing Sheik is like really progressive in the sense that it's like, okay, you're not trying. It looks like Sheik's always trying to counter the opponent's play, but if you take that mentality, you will lose all the time. And I think that's like the biggest thing when like progressing with Sheik. It's like I used to be like, okay, I counter this play. My opponent's gonna do this, counter that play, but you never really develop your own strategy. So it's basically like trying to play your opponent's game, but because you're playing your opponent's game, you can't win, you know? And I realized that the hard way. It took me a whole year playing Sheik to do that. But definitely, if you want to be different from other Sheiks, set your own like strategies. Like first learn from the top players, top Sheiks, like imitate them.
What would you say the percentage is on mind capacity and technical capacity for Sheik being what sets you, what you can actually apply? You know, to quote Mango, he said melee is 10% tech skill, 90% mental game. I think Smash 4 is a little bit more so on the technical aspect because you have to understand the technical parts of a much bigger cast, which makes the game difficult. But what are your thoughts?
So, this is actually a pretty good question, a really hard question. So, the question is, how do you if I'm not mistaken, how to differentiate between when you need technical and when you need mental?
Yeah, what is the biggest part of growing as a Sheik player?
Oh.
Like, obviously there's like the bread and butter things that you need to learn how to do, how to move around, but how much of that is so important over learning how to play players and learning how to play against characters?
So I want to say that you always keep the technical side of learning, but you always want to keep progressing mental game, because I know this is common for people pick up Sheik, is they'll be like, oh, I can't like do all the cool stuff like fair to bouncing fish or forward air, neutral air, or like all these grab combos and stuff. And what happens is it's like, dude, like if you're picking up Sheik, if you really want to learn, like, just do forward throw bouncing fish for like 5 times in a row.
Or they get frustrated and just try to do those combos anyway, and then they end up losing for it.
Like, the very biggest thing you want to learn is being consistent with Sheik, both in technical and mental games. So if it means you have to only do fair to hit somebody and only do like F tilt up air, then it allows you more room to not be narrow-minded on technical and progress a lot more in the mental, which is, I feel like, is a lot, especially important with Sheik. It's weird though, because Void is like really technical and Mr. R is like really mental, and those
just like polar opposites. And I think Zero like kind of falls right in between the two of them.
He does, but he's
a very emotional player as well.
I think Zero's like, at first I didn't think he was the most technical. I thought it was Void, but then like every time when I see the way he picks his options, it's just so complex. It's like so hard to understand how he figures out the answers. And the only time he ever gets on tilt is like if he plays against a character that can just kill him, like that.
Like his loss against Shiny.
Yeah, like that's the only time he ever gets on tilted. It's on tilt, to be honest. So.
Well, I know they're trying to wrap up here. We're approaching midnight here. Final statement from you about middle ground.
It was awesome. Like everyone gave me a run. Everyone gave me a run for their money. Everyone was definitely just like, they figure out ways to wreck me, and like low key, I want to get hyped, but I have to stay focused. So, you know. But thanks, guys.
PogChamp Taisa talking about the real yes.
Yeah, I want to get hyped. Oh,
All right. Well, we got the Taisa. It was a
thank you.
pleasure.
thank
Thanks.
you.
Congrats.
Good
job.
job on doubles.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So, tournament host.
Yeah.
Misfit.
Oh, he's saying friend of mine.
How's it going?
Sorry.
We had some things run a little bit rough, but overall, I think it was really good. Like one of the better North Idaho events, I think anyway. Next tournament, July 9. The next middle ground will be here, same room, same everything, July
Yep.
9.
Next IE Smash is going to be the 8th.
All right.
We're featuring Melee. We're cross-promoting between
Yep.
them. We're going to try to work
These
something out so
monthlies.
that way we can kind of cut back on how much you guys are having to spend between the two. It's still up in the air right now, but if you're not on the Facebook page, get on there. We'll be pushing out advertisements soon.
Yep. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for those who came.
All right.
And now,